Hola, amigas. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. If you've been here before on a Wednesday, you know that this is going to be another episode of Courting Coco. But if you're joining us for the first time, come in, have a seat, welcome, stay a while, and make sure you hit that subscribe button too while you're at it. Whenever you're talking to someone online that you've never met in person, you run the risk of being catfished. Catfish. To lure someone into a relationship by means of a fictional online persona. And while dating apps have indeed been very good to me, it is with a heavy heart that I announce that I too have indeed been catfished. You know the deal. If you're not sipping already, you just late, boo. You just late, okay? Grab your tea. I prefer mine red. And let's get into this episode of Courting Coco. In today's video, I'm going to tell you guys about a time that I believe that I was catfished, which is actually more recent than I'd like to admit. It was last week. And in the comments, I'd love for you guys to tell me, what do you think? Do you think I was catfished? Let me know. For the most part, catfishing is associated with creating an online profile using someone else's pictures, maybe their name and location, and it can even go as far as their personal information, their career, their educational background. Pretty much people impersonate someone that they probably never met before online. Straight up fraud. Like straight up fraud. So a few months ago, I was minding my business as usual on Soul Swipe, swiping left and swiping right. And here comes this fine chocolate man. I'm talking Morris Chestnut. It's just Elba fine, okay? Not no regular fine, like super fine, beard, chocolate skin, tall, muscular. Ooh, I should have known right then and there that it was too good to be true, but I swiped right because when God gives you blessings, you gotta take them, okay? So I took my chance and I swiped right. And I'm just continuing swiping. Then I get my little notification, you have a new match. And I close my eyes and I pray, baby Jesus, please let it be him. And it was him. And so he messaged me because, you know, you gotta let a man be a man. But he did send me a message and we talked. But the Soul Swipe app wasn't working and it's still kind of weird. More on that later. So I kept missing his responses. I wouldn't get a notification that he actually responded, or I just wouldn't see it even if I had the app open. So I had to actually go into the conversation to know if he responded or not. And so I kept apologizing for responding really late. I mean, like weeks late, like weeks. So finally, I shot my shot, even though the shot had already been shot. So I shot my shot and I told him, you know what, you can just text me since I keep missing your notifications if you want to continue this conversation. And he did. So we started to talk through text, and I am a natural conversationist. I like to talk. As you guys probably know, I love to run my mouth. So I am really good usually at filling the space in conversations that are dead. That's my specialty. I believe that I can hold a good conversation. I'd like to think so. So it wasn't a problem for me to be texting somebody that I hadn't met in person before. It's pretty much the same as it is in the app. It's just in your text messages now, and you actually get the notification. So we were having a conversation. I was doing most of the work. It was basically me asking him questions and him answering them, which is strange to me because I feel like if you have a conversation with somebody and you maybe are not the best conversationalist, the very least that you could do is ask the question back. So if I ask you, what's your favorite color? You could say, blue. What about yours? That's an easy way to keep a conversation going without having to come up with things to say yourself. You could Google what to ask somebody. You could phone a friend. There are a lot of options to help you out, especially if you're talking to someone that you haven't met yet and you're interested in them. It's important that you have good conversation. Otherwise, what is the point? So we're having this conversation or I'm having a conversation and he's responding back. And at the same time, I'm on Tinder and I'm, again, minding my business, swiping left and right, and boom, same beautiful chocolate man. So I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if we matched on Tinder too? So I swiped right. Y'all know we matched. So now we're 2 for 2 in the app. So I'm like, okay, so that's not the problem. So why aren't you really talking? And he actually messaged me on Tinder. So he messages me on Tinder and waves, which is strange to me. So I sent him a screenshot of our match on Tinder and I said, we have to stop meeting like this because now this is the second app that we've matched in and we're still not really having a conversation. And at this point, I had stopped texting him. But I just thought that was so funny. So he laughs and again, we continue to talk about whatever nonsense. And again, I decide, let me just start talking to you. A few days later, he hits me up. And you know, I responded, whatever, was cool, it's nice. Again, casual conversation. I'm still doing most of the work, even though you hit me up. I don't know what the point of that was. So that weekend, my cousin came into town and I was pretty much telling her the story. And I was telling her that I basically do not think that this person is real. We talked about if he's really shy, and he said yes. And I said, are you even this shy in person? And he said, very much so. He told me what he did for a living. He told me where he was from. We had talked about his background and what he did and all that good stuff. She was kind of like, well, maybe you should just call him or FaceTime him. And I was just like, no, not doing that. So we basically decided, let's see if we can find him online. I started to try to search for him. I didn't have much information. I didn't have a last name. He was one of the few people that didn't have any social media in their online dating profiles on SoulSwipe or on Tinder. He didn't have his account connected to Facebook, which is always kind of like a why not type of thing. That's the safe part, I think, about dating online, is that a lot of these apps require you to connect a social media account, or preferably Facebook, and they give you the option of connecting your Instagram, and that's a great way to check someone's common connections and just if they're a real person. So we started to try to search for him, and like I said, I didn't have that much information to go off, so it made it a little bit more difficult, but there are some loopholes. So the first thing that I did is saved his number in my phone. I'll tell you why. Because you can search for someone on some social media platforms like Snapchat by their phone number. You can search and see if someone in your contacts list has a Snapchat account. At least that would have given me kind of an idea of whether or not this person was real. Going from there, people with Snapchat accounts often use the same name or a related name on Instagram. So if you have one or the other, it's kind of easy to search for the opposite. However, we tried those ways and they did not work. I was not able to find him, not on Facebook, not on Instagram, not on Snapchat. Couldn't find this man. That night, we actually went out to a party, a little too much tea, and she somehow convinced me that we should FaceTime this man. I don't know why, but she had my phone in her hand, and all of a sudden, I could hear the FaceTime tone. Keep in mind that although it was 4 o'clock in the morning, we were having an active conversation, or I had just asked him a question and he answered it. We FaceTime him. He doesn't respond, but he sends a text saying that he's about to get in the shower. At this point, I'm like, all right, 2 things. You're either not real, like I said you were, you're somebody else pretending to be this beautiful, fine chocolate man, or you're laying next to your girlfriend. Okay? So he says that he's gonna call back. So we're in the car, in the Uber home, talking, chatting. We get home, change our clothes, get in bed. Still no call back. Fall asleep. The next morning I get a text, so I definitely fell asleep. No, you didn't. No call back, no nothing. So at this point, we start talking about what we're doing for the weekend, and I kind of let him know that, you know, going to be in his area and all that good stuff. And now I'm interested to see who you really are. So I'm like, or if this is actually a catfish situation. So I'm just like, so what are you doing? You know, we're going to be in the area if you want to stop by and have a drink with us, whatever, whatever. He says, oh, I'm working all day. I am not so sure that I'll be able to. I'll see. At this point, I'm thinking in my head, bro, if you don't like me that much, you don't got to answer my text messages. You could just block me and keep it moving. I'm going to be alright. So after him basically saying that he don't know if he could meet up with me, I stopped answering. And at this point, I'm just kind of like, all right, obviously something is wrong here. It could be me, but at this point I'm leaning towards it's a catfish, okay? It's a catfish. It very well could be that he just not really with it. But at that point, you know, I already stopped talking to you. You didn't have to text me again, sir. You didn't have to roll up in my inbox, disturbing peace. At this point, I'm thinking, now I'm gonna find your ass. You're not finna play me. I'm finna find you. I'm finna figure out exactly who you are. I'm finna do a little search. We gonna find you. Excuse me. So, what I used to find out whether or not this man was telling the truth, to give me some clues as to who this person was, the very first thing that I decided to do is Google image search. If you haven't heard of the app Best Image Search, definitely should look into it. It is what I use to find outfits, but I figure, or find like the store that's actually selling an outfit or selling an item, but I figured if it works for that, maybe it'll work for this. So I actually saved his picture from his profile. This sounds crazy. I saved his picture from his online profile. I saved a few of them and I uploaded them into the Best Image Search app, which I had some trouble because usually depending on what the person is wearing in the picture, you might get just like random search results. But I was able to find a LinkedIn profile. Yeah. I was able to find a LinkedIn profile. I clicked on the profile. Completely different name. I'm talking first name, last name, completely different. Now, the profile was filled out completely, which makes me believe that this is the profile of the actual person. I mean, I'm sure he could have used a fake name on the internet just because people maybe use a fake name in dating apps. But usually they use like a random name like Get Money Fast 21 or something. But this man had a whole real different first name. So I'm looking in the LinkedIn profile. It's completely filled out. It has a lot of information. Some of it actually matches what this person was telling me. I'm talking about career-wise, location, background, educational background. It pretty much matched. But the LinkedIn profile had way more information. It was active, like it had connections. It had liked and shared posts. It was being used, obviously. It was definitely being used. And while it's very likely that this person, they're the same person, the fact that he could be so active on LinkedIn and not so active in person, or not so active in text message, was kind of like, you're weird. You're weird. You're weird. The only issue is taking the information from the LinkedIn profile and searching on Facebook and Instagram. I was not able to find that person either. But that also makes me think that perhaps this person is using this LinkedIn profile to catfish people in another way. Like, maybe he's a professional serial catfisher. Could be a career, I don't know. So the next thing that I was able to do is use some of the other pictures and the information from his LinkedIn, which told me that he had worked with a certain company, to find that company, find that company's website, which connected me to their Instagram, where there was a picture of Fine Chocolate Man on the website and on their Instagram page, but no tag, not in their followers, no engagement, no comments, no likes, no nothing. I checked everything and could not be found. Needless to say, with all of my connections, all of my dots, and all of the different profiles, different accounts, different dating apps, different social media profiles, different companies he worked with, I was unable to find this man, unable to find this person. I never got my FaceTime responded to or returned. I never met up with him in person. I stopped answering, so I never heard from him again. He kind of just like disappeared. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think I got catfished? I just think it's weird that he would message me in one app, have my number, match with me in another app, and then message me in that app. So just a few tips when you're talking to someone online, whether it is through a dating app, Instagram, Twitter, email, Facebook. Don't let nobody trick you into a full relationship or into giving them money or whatever. I definitely thought I was about to get one of those text messages talking about you're the prince of wherever, lost in some random island, and you need $1,500 to get back home. So a few tips to make sure that you never get got on the internet. Number one is you always want to make sure that you're talking to a real person, and the easiest way to do that is to ask them if they're comfortable sharing their social media account. I definitely would ask somebody if they're comfortable sharing their Instagram or Facebook with you. Another thing to do is to not be afraid to talk to the person over the phone and through FaceTime or Skype or some kind of video chat app or software, because it's important that you see the person and know that they are actually a real person and they are, for the most part, who they say they are. There is definitely a thick line, not a thin line, a thick line between putting your best foot forward and catfishing or being somebody else. And of course, you can always go the extra mile to make sure that they are who they say they are by, again, saving their phone number and seeing if they have a Snapchat account, checking to see if they have an Instagram account, seeing if their Facebook is attached to their profile. If their Facebook is not attached to their dating app profile, that's definitely a sign that you should ask them if they're on social media. And of course, the biggest one is you should try to meet up in person. The whole point of being on this app, so whether you're looking for a partner long term or you just want to hang out with somebody, you want to have a good time, whatever, the point is to have face-to-face interaction. It's not to keep it all in the app or online. So try to meet up with a person. If the person is unwilling to meet up with you, it's a red flag that they're either not that interested or it's a catfish, sis. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, leave me a comment down below and let me know if you think I got catfished or he just wasn't here for it. Let me know. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, even if you didn't, please, please, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so I know that you're here and you're watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you're enjoying the series. If you're new, don't forget to catch up. This is episode 7. So you have quite a bit of catching up to do. And I hope to see you guys here next week. As always, love hurts, but loneliness will kill you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.